Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 16 of Rapid Unscheduled Discussions. My name is Seth Kurkowski. I'm your grateful host, I guess you can call it. I'm speaking really quiet like it's ASMR. Like I'm trying, I'm trying to be like a radio host. Like, hello, and live here back on 98.9. Our less than graceful co-host, Daryl Sausse.
I'm sitting here grumpy because Seth just told me to be quiet right before we went live. Like, nobody tells me to be quiet. Y'all see how he treats me? He
You
does
gotta
the
be.
same to me. No, I'm kidding. When the live stream ain't rolling, we're fine. We're good. We're good.
Wow, we're okay. We have
We're
a different
cool.
we have a different setup today. So we're trying out Zoom.
Oh,
Right now we're testing audio quality. So because we always want to have our audio quality be the best because we care.
we care.
We care. Also, you won't have to deal. Hopefully, this all works out, which so far it has. You won't have to deal with the other or whoever our guests are or anyone else other than me. Their webcams contracting and flashing the entire time. Which is always great for me to watch too, because I see it happen. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. I just see it on the screen, and I'm just like, it's all Skype. Like, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yep. Like I have the live stream pulled up right now while we're doing this, and this already looks a lot better than Skype. So
Yeah, so instead of it, like,
yeah, Skype, you're
contracting when
kicked
the
to the
quality
curb.
drops, it's just the quality drops, but you stay the same size.
Yeah. Whatever.
How was your week?
Whatever. It was good. It's good to be back. I had to go photograph a socially distant wedding last week, and it was absolutely beautiful. Given everything going on in the world right now, yes, I'm avoiding saying the C word. That was more beautiful than just what the normal wedding was gonna be. The fact that everybody came together, made this stuff happen, and I'm still going through the pictures. Anybody out there who photographs weddings knows that this shit takes a while. Good lord. Plus, there's a little more pressure because A, I'm paid for it, and B, these are my friends, so I'm really obsessing over making them perfect. I haven't even looked at the video yet, but don't tell them. With all the technical issues, apparently everybody was having technical issues last week because, of course,
Yes, last week was awful.
last week was awful for everybody, just in general, technical wise.
Last week was just, we're sitting there, I don't know, I'm like, yeah, it should be fine. I should have no issues with this at all. Like, Das has done this, I should have no problem with it because I talk with Das about live stream stuff all the time. And I hit record and it goes, driver issue, and I'm like, if you guys know anything about computers, when you get like a driver issue or a driver out, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't have time for this. Like,
well, I caught the show. I was able to get home for like the start of the show. I caught it. Some of y'all probably saw me in chat and everything like that. And freaking, I'm watching everything going on. All of a sudden, YouTube starts spinning. I'm like, okay, let me reload this.
oh yeah, and
Still
it just
spinning,
cut.
still spinning, still spinning. I'm like, what the heck? I messaged Seth. He's like, yeah, that you boom.
I just
Well,
looked and I saw like everything lost connection. Like OBS said I lost connection, YouTube said I lost connection, and it said it wasn't able to reconnect. And I'm just sitting there, just like,
well,
there's nothing I can do about it. Like,
well, no, wait. I had technical issues too because during this wedding, I did pictures and I was trying to do video too. So I had like two remote cameras set up on a remote RF trigger. I'm sitting there, click, 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 and just setting those off all day long. Another photographer friend of mine was there, her man, and her kid. And as soon as she gets there, I'm like, "Hey, Rachel, take this camera, second shoot for me." She's like, "Okay, cool." And I was sitting there playing around with video on my new gimbal stabilizer and whatnot. I had a technical issue with the stabilizer where it kind of spun around and it kind of got out of whack. So I turned it off and turned it back on. Apparently, it sent a signal to my EOS R to stop recording when I turned it off. And I did not catch that until like halfway through the vows. I know. Shit. But the priority was pictures. That's mainly why they had me there. And I think I can make some kind of video magic happen. Shooting in high speed mode, I can do one of those kind of 5 frames a second kind of thing and linger on the last frame and kind of work all that into type of video thing. And I don't know. I'm gonna try something, but the pictures are the priority, so I got to finish those first. And I promised myself I would be 75% done with that job. I don't even know what constitutes 75%. And I want to try and get to that point sometime this week because I need to get out to the end of the Mississippi River at like 4 in the morning and photograph the. It's not the Atlas. It's the Swan Comet. One of the Swan Comets.
Swan comets?
Oh God, I forgot the name of it.
Let me
find it. Yeah, let me find it real fast.
See, if I would ever do a wedding and I had to
there it is. C2020 F8 Comet Swan. It rises and like an hour 45 minutes before sunrise. So I really have a limited window to catch it. I'm gonna try.
If I had to ever do a wedding and then I wanted to do video, I wouldn't even deal with like making it cinematic or anything like that. I would just set up a camera, hit record, like something that can record forever, whatever, and just hit record at the beginning of the service, and just forget about it pretty much.
That's what I noticed most of them do. I wanted to try and get
especially for the service. Now for the reception, I would go, get the gimbal and have like the low shots, the high shots, like all that, all that like walking around stuff.
Right.
But I would for the service, like you don't like I said, you don't want to fuck up the service.
No.
No one wants a half of a service. Well, even the service part. I mean,
there were a lot of other people recording it.
Yeah, the most important part is the vows.
Yeah, there were a lot of other people recording it, so I'm going to reach out to some of those other people. Yes, it might be cell phone video or it might be a stationary camera, but I'm going to try and get a hold of it and see what I can do. Even my audio recorder died.
I live streamed my brother's wedding.
I've seen that happen. My best friend and his wife did that a couple of years ago from North Carolina that I was in.
Yeah, my brother and his wife, then fiance, wanted to get married, just have a family wedding because they weren't sure how long all my other grandparents were going to be around. Mm-hmm. And since then, we've both my family and her family have lost like 3 grandparents already, so it was the right decision. Yeah. And sadly, my grandparents couldn't make it up because they can't travel anymore. Well, my grandfather couldn't travel at the time, and so I brought my tripod up, and I'm like, I was trying to set up all this other. If I had all the gear I had now, that shit would have been great. That shit. But I just had a little bit my Manfrotto decent size tripod with my phone on top.
That's what I forgot to mention. Speaking of technical issues, something else that happened. They actually did a Facebook Live group and everything like that. Excuse me, and they were gonna live stream it to people who couldn't show up. The phone went to sleep right before it started. Oh yeah, it does that. Yeah, you have to be on it. You have to be on it. It went to sleep right before it started.
And nobody caught it. I used Skype to live stream it.
Oh man.
So it wasn't really a live stream, it was more like a Skype call. But I went full in. Like I had when all the people like my brother and the best man and then the bridesmaid and matron of honor. There we go. Mm. Had a brain fart there for a second. What that was? What it was called? And then when my sister-in-law walked out, like I had not pan. What's the term? Oh yeah, not pan. Yeah,
pan, tilt, zoom. That's the 3 directions.
Well, technically, when you move the camera like this is panning. But when you move it like this is not panning.
Oh, that's
it's not slide, but it's a dolly. I think.
Is that tracking?
I don't know what it is. I don't.
Or dolly? I don't know.
I know dolly.
None of us do film.
Yeah, none of us are cinematographers. I just like being one sometimes.
Yeah,
I just pretend.
Well, I'm gonna be playing around with my new toys soon. Actually, I want to trade up gimbals for anybody who's into the stuff. I wanted the Crane 3 Lab from Zhiyun, but I couldn't find any locally, and I waited too long to get one. I couldn't get it in time, so I dealt with the Zhiyun Weeble S. And I like it, but I want to trade up. I want to trade up to the Crane 3 Lab. And
you always tell me to get a gimbal for my 600.
Me?
Yeah, you always tell me that because you had that other gimbal you used when you took stills.
No, I have a gimbal tripod head which works completely different.
Okay, so what's the difference between that head and a normal gimbal?
The one I have for video is like a
all access head.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
all-access motor-stabilized gimbal.
Okay.
The one for photography that goes on top of the tripod, that one is for like smooth, fluid movement when you're tracking something like rocket launches, like we have a tendency to do.
Mm-hmm.
I swear it was a world of difference when I finally used one from the LC39 gantry. It was absolutely amazing.
It's just
So
because I think about it, it doesn't make sense that it works. Like you're still, I just feel like it's just like a tripod. Like it's you're still moving your hand around. If your hand's still shaky, it's still going to be shaky.
yes, but it helps take away some of that. It takes away it takes away a jerky motion, like if you're moving on a different kind of head. When you balance it correctly, you undo uh, the two thumb wheels, and it'll just sit there level and whatnot until you move it. So all you need to do is move. It's nice and. Have you not seen mine?
No, I've
Have
seen
you
it.
not played with it?
I've not played with it. No.
Oh,
Dude, I can't wait.
Next time. Next time.
Launch, my gear's gonna be so set.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so set.
Next time you got to play with mine and see how smooth it is. Yeah. And mine, like those things can go for like $1,000 just for the carbon fiber heads.
Carbon fiber. Oh, I'm not that fancy.
Dude, mine was $150. I swear by
150?
150. I put 2 cameras on it. 2 cameras. Anytime I tweet out pictures of those 2 camera setups that I have with my EOS R and my 6D, that's it. It's on there. It takes the weight on them just fine and it moves just fine. You balance it, and you can just let it sit there loose.
I just
and
bought
everything
myself.
Like that. It won't go anywhere.
Yeah, I just bought myself it's a 400 millimeter plate, I think. So I can I don't remember what it is. Maybe it's like 300 or something. No, 30 centimeters. There we go. So 300 millimeters. There we go. Got it. Figured it out.
Speaking of launches,
we have 2 launches coming this week. And
yes, we do. Their times just changed today too.
Yeah, I don't remember I don't know what the times are. They changed so much the past week. I don't remember. I think it's like, is it 16th and 17th?
I don't remember the dates. I do know the times are both like in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, given a classified space plane, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I don't think the window. I think
Starlink is also going to be in the middle of the night. So.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one.
It's Starlink.
Yeah, so hopefully by the time we come up, we have two more. We should be seeing a stack first soon, I believe, for Starlink. Soon, within the next couple of days.
Maybe.
And by we, I mean everyone who lives on the Space Coast, not us. We don't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're blind.
Right. But no, and then the big one coming up, DM2.
DM2. Here, we'll bring that stuff up right away, since that's a good segue into it. If I
DM Deuce.
DM Deuce.
Seth and I both got these in today. It was awesome. Yeah. These. Where's yours? Hold it up. For those who are listening to the audio, it's the DM2 patch that you see Bob and Doug wearing on their shoulders and whatnot at flight suits. If we ever go out on a boat again, you're not coming back. Ghost Searcher is going to have to rescue you.
Wait, what about this one? Huh?
I have that on a hoodie.
Yeah, I know.
From ESA.
Yeah, but you didn't earn it. You didn't see the launch.
I watched it from a hotel room in Maryland.
Yeah, you didn't photograph it, though. That's the one thing I have with patches. I do not buy patches. This is actually the first... Okay, this one and... and this... So these are the... Technically, I have not seen its launch yet. Or, well, it's undecided.
What, DM2?
DM2. This is my exception to my normal rule. My normal rule is, if I did not go to the launch and photograph the launch, I do not buy a patch.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I still need a dragon sticker for the back of my Jeep. Believe it or not, I still have not found one.
Well, that's the Apollo 50th anniversary account. I do have also the Apollo 8 patch because it's my favorite patch.
Yeah, you can make exceptions for the historic.
It's such a great patch. Like, it's 8. Like, it's so smart. They made a figure 8 around the moon, and they're Apollo 8, and so their patch has an 8 going around
Well, I mean, technically they didn't make.
Okay,
a
technically they
figure eight,
didn't, but you know what?
But it works great for a patch design.
It's a great patch. They technically kind of did.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's,
so let me switch
the
over.
launches.
Yeah, I'll switch over to my screen. So yeah, so DM2.
Whoa,
When this is
whoa.
tweeted out, 3 weeks. L minus. I don't remember what the difference between L minus and T minus is, but
I need to stop you for a second.
what?
Hold the hell up.
Hold up.
All right. So, of course, Seth and I are using Zoom. How do we share screen in Zoom?
But give me a heads up
oh,
before you
there-
do it.
There it is. All right, I'm sharing a screen right now. So I'm looking around on Redbubble.
I don't see your screen.
I'm looking around on Redbubble for.
Oh, I see your screen now. It just showed up.
Do you see this shit? Bruh, to hell with these DM2 patches. We need a DM2 shower curtain.
No, I don't think we need a DM2 shower curtain. I mean, sure, why not?
Do you know me?
Sadly, I do.
Do you know me? Like this might be a thing.
I was. You know what? One thing I am not. I am. Oh, there's one thing I'm disappointed about with the DM2 patch. One thing.
Oh lord, here it comes.
It's not using the worm logo for NASA.
Worm logo, whatever.
For IFA, they use the worm logo for IFA for NASA
Where?
on the patch. See, look.
Hang on, I'm ignoring you. I don't have you open.
Don't
Did they-
ignore me. Why are you ignoring me?
That's a half-assed worm logo. Doesn't count.
It uses the worm font.
Doesn't count.
Why didn't they use it for DM2? They're gonna put the
Doesn't
worm on the
count.
rocket. Why did they put the worm on the patch?
So for those of us listening, I'm about to tweet out a picture of this shower curtain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out your Twitter to the big guy.
Yeah, because this is. I might spend the money on this just because.
I'm so disappointed right now. Yet I understand why.
Oh man.
Yep. We are still working on. Well, at least I am. Because I live close enough to Florida to where. I live in Florida, so it's not that far of a drive for the launch. I am still working on a safe location to be the launch from. So I feel fine talking about that on stream. But we'll see though what I do. Yeah. But originally we were gonna have private land, which might not work out, so now we're looking at remote locations. Which is gonna be fun. Because
Yeah.
the one place me and the other guy who I'm going with were looking, it was gonna be a pain in the butt to get our stuff there.
Oh geez.
Because I've been there before once, and I'm like, I mean, we could go there. It's like it's near crowded areas, but like no one actually goes to this area because it's a little bit difficult to get to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent, like, kind of steep little drop and a lot of rocks, and I'm like, we could get there. Bringing our gear might be a little difficult, but we could get there.
That's one of those ones where you need help getting there.
Yeah, it would be like, okay, let's all set up my gear, and then like you stay here while we go set up the other guy's gear, and then one of us stay here, and then you guys set up his gear. Like it's a 2-person job to probably get all your stuff down. And the stuff that we were bringing, like we were gonna bring stuff to cordon off at like a 12-foot area.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, like we were gonna make sure we did it right to make sure, and we all had. Yeah, I'm trying to work out to see if I can get like bulk masks just to hand out to people.
Dude, you know, usually before all this stuff started, I would feel like a jerk for taking up all kinds of excess space, but nowadays it's like that's kind of what you got to do.
Yep.
Kind of what you got to do.
Yep.
And then you got to get out there stupid early to do it now.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be there in the morning.
Oof.
If we do it, we'll be there early in the morning, and then just sit there with our. I'll just do what I did for Arab set. Get there at like 8 a.m. and day drink.
Yes.
That's what I did for Arab set.
Because that's what we do on this show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oof. Champagne of beers. Love it.
Gin and Mountain Dew. Have you had gin and Mountain Dew before? It's like gin and juice.
God, you Northerners are weird.
I tried it once at a family reunion, which usually is where all the weird drinks come from. But it was on I can't remember what it was called, like the blue Mountain Dew, and like Sapphire, and I can't remember what it's called. Like it was Voltic or something like that. Wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. So I'm drinking that now. But I pour my gin drinks light. I do not put a full shot of gin in my drinks. So I'm not a gin fan. But a half a shot, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we want to talk about the actual details of DM2 that's coming up now. They are now in quarantine, officially.
Yeah.
They're in their pre-launch quarantine. So I think they were in a few weeks. They were in their COVID-19 quarantine, and now they are in their pre-launch quarantine because last week, this was on, when did this get tweeted? May 7th, which was that the Monday? No, that was Thursday. I think it was the 6th, which was 3 weeks till launch, training was complete. Which I'm impressed with how much training they did. Because it went from a 2-week mission to a 3-month mission? Or is it 2 months? I can't remember what it is. 2 or 3 months.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And they did all that training for that update within the past couple months. It's impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're now in their respective quarantined areas. I'm not sure where or what, but yeah. And now technically we are 2 weeks away. 2 weeks and 2 days.
Yeah. 2 weeks?
2 weeks and 2 days. I got that patch today and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
It is happening. Oh Lord.
But also, no. Here we go. Here it is. I clicked on every link but the one I wanted to click. Preparing for DM2. Well, technically, NASA says preparing for Artemis, but let's be honest, they're preparing for DM2. VAB's getting a little bit of a facelift.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that.
They're just repainting over the meatball. I guess they're just updating. I honestly would not mind them just painting NASA the worm logo, which I would. Many people fell for it.
Me, guilty. Dude,
NASA Watch made the best. This is probably one of my favorite tweets I have ever seen him post. I don't really follow. I follow him, but I don't really read a lot of his tweets. But I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
he photoshopped them painting the worm over the meatball logo.
I zoomed in hard on it, and I'm like, wow, that's cool.
It is a perfect Photoshop. It's just a white background with the VAB. You just throw the NASA worm on it.
No. It's more than white. It's ribbed. It's got texture to it if you zoom in on it.
Well, yeah. Key did amazing job.
Yeah, I ain't even mad. Props to you on the Photoshop job. It was good. It was real good.
Oh my god. Hey, does that sacrifice put a little bit of gin in your Mountain Dew? Trust me, it's not that bad.
No.
The taste of Mountain Dew just makes it go away. You just get the alcohol part.
Ugh. But anyway, we're light on stuff this week, so we're just BSing around, really. Yeah. What other kind of stuff was going on?
Do you want to talk about our camera setups?
I use the EOS R.
Okay, more. Okay, come on. All right. So for the next launch I go to, whether it is a safe location for DM2 or it's a future mission, I am planning on trying out and renting the EOS R.
It's
because I played around with it when we were at IFA, and that is a fun. I think I would trade the better sensor for the frames per second, because it only shoots at 8 frames a second, correct?
Yes, 8 frames a second. I have gotten the buffer to go up to.
Is...
Well, it depends. And I just discovered this recently. There's some kind of weird setting on it that has killed my buffer, and I don't know what the heck I did. I still need to figure it out. I was able to go when I was at OFT. God, I'm already like pushing Boeing crap out of my head. When I was at OFT in December, I had that thing going. It was like machine gun fire all day long. And then I look at it when I was doing some other projects. I think when I was doing the moon a couple weeks ago, the buffer was up to like 70 something pictures before it would have to stop and reload. I'm like, all right, I can still live with
70
that.
pictures is a lot.
It is. It is. That will run for a few seconds.
Does the EOS R focus between shots?
I don't know. I catch myself doing a lot of stuff in manual focus these days.
Okay.
I need to.
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that the best part of the EOS R is you don't have to use manual focus so often?
The best part about the EOS R is that when you do use manual focus, it's got a focus helper. I wish I could share the non-clean HDMI out version right now, because it will. All right, so it's got this box on it that is on whatever you're focusing on, and you turn your focus wheel, and it's got these arrows that'll line up and turn green when it's in focus, and it will stay there for you. Yes, it has helped me out so much.
Is that with any lens?
Yes.
That works. So even with like a third party, like Samron's and Sigmas.
It's not dependent on the lens. I don't believe.
Interesting.
Well,
interesting.
It's pseudo dependent on the lens. When I mount it to my telescope, it does not come on. I have to just eyeball that one.
Well, yeah, because I don't think there's any communication between the telescope and the camera.
No, there isn't. It's just a solid connection. There's no data connection or anything like that. I want to say it has to do with the f-stop, because cameras can only focus autofocus based on your f-stop. Mm-hmm. It has to, I want to say the range is like around f8 or whatnot. So if it can see something through an f8, it depends on the camera.
Yeah, it depends also on your lighting situation, because it has to be able to see. Like, even if I'm trying to think. Even at like f4 on one of my lenses I have, if it's pitch black, it doesn't focus anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No camera will.
And you can have it at f12 and it will focus on a bright light.
But the EOS R is much better for that. I also just discovered doing my astrophotography stuff that I thought it didn't have it. I'm like, why doesn't a mirrorless camera have this? Where it would be a completely silent and motionless shooting. Because for anybody who knows how DSLRs work, you have the mirror that flips up, and then you have the curtain in front of the sensor. It moves different directions. It'll like shutter, curtain,
whichever. Actual shutter. Yeah.
The mirror and the shutter. The way it works is there's two things called curtains, and you have first curtain that comes down, second one that closes after the time of however long your shutter speed is. And then it just goes the other way for the next shot. It's just a constant up and down.
No, I think it goes.
No.
No, it goes up and down. I thought it always went
down.
I thought it always went down.
It's just always a back and forth thing. Well, now, with the mirrorless, since
as well as the 1D, the new 1D is gonna have it as well.
I did not know that, but
the new 1D is pretty much a mirror, like the R, but with a mirror.
Oh, okay. Well,
it has a lower and the it's not. It doesn't use the same sensor, but it uses the same technology.
Well, since the sensor has to be exposed to show stuff in the viewfinder anyway, there is a completely silent shooting, no mechanical movement whatsoever.
Yeah.
So your camera stays completely still. It helped me out the last time I went and photographed the space station flying in front of the moon. Last week.
You can do that without having. Well, I guess you have the ND filter on the front, so.
On what?
I was say, isn't that like not great to have your sensor fully exposed the entire time? But
don't do it during the day.
Yeah. Well, didn't you do it passing the sun?
I did, but it was through a specific sun-facing filter. It was through a filter made for looking at the sun. I have two of them. One for the telescope and another special ND filter that goes on the end of my monster lens. It is you know how most ND filters are like 1 to 4 stops or something like that? This is a 15 stop ND filter.
I definitely need one of those. I so want one so bad.
It was pricey, dude. Yeah. It was like $130 just for that sheet of glass.
I've been not paying attention to that tracking site, that transit site you've shared with me.
It's
I
great.
need to go back there and see if I can ever find a transit for the moon.
I don't have anything coming up soon, so I'm kind of screwed.
Well,
yeah, for a while.
I promise I want
it
to talk
seems
about your
like
background. I'm sorry, never mind. I won't say anything.
Bruh. You know what?
I almost said something. I'm like, I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it.
You see what you choose to see. You know, I put up a background picture of some beautiful work that I did. That's it.
I put up Florida. The beautiful beaches of Florida.
You're so turning into Florida, man.
Yeah, the horrible beard's coming in. You gotta, if you're gonna be true Florida man, you gotta have an untrimmed beard. You gotta have a neck beard. It's gotta be patchy in the middle, but like really like, yeah, that's how you gotta do it.
Man,
I did have a pretty good facial hair going, and then I decided to shave. So this is it back. It actually, oh dude, it filled right in. Like the issue I had was like, you can kind of see it right here still, but it was like down the side. So if you take your mustache and go like straight down your side of your face, it was just all bare. Like it would like connect at the bottom, but like it wouldn't on down the sides of like my neck, and it would in the middle, and it would down the back on the side, but not here. Like you're not right by the jugglers pretty much. Damn. So those finally filled in. Yay! I'm growing up.
So
it only took me 23 years.
Oh, he's a real boy now.
I'm a real man now.
So yeah, that's the EOS R, which Seth, I hope you have fun with it.
But I'm also, because I also do live streaming, and I really, really want a P90 or a P1000. So they're great for live. They're terrible for photos. Absolutely, you might as well just pull out your cell phone because it's the same sensor. But the zoom you have and the video quality you get from just using it as a camcorder is freaking amazing. And you get up to 3,000 millimeters, bro. 3,000 millimeters. Yeah. Yeah.
What a crappy image quality.
It doesn't look that bad. It actually doesn't. For images, yes, it won't look great. But
Seth, for the kind of work we do, yeah, we can't be having that.
Well, I don't do all the work you do. I do live streams, bro. I live stream those launches.
I'm a live streamer, okay?
I'm a streamer. I'm a content creator. I'm not just a photographer. I'm a content creator. We should probably get back to the news, shouldn't we?
Yeah, there are a few other things to mention. I was BSing around.
So, there is an unconfirmed source. I wish I should have clarified up with Chris before the show, but apparently they might have an OFT/DM1 type mission for Artemis with Orion. Due to the OFT anomalies, NASA is apparently considered, but this is unconfirmed, of course. Unconfirmed. Say it for me, Daryl. Unconfirmed.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that got across.
What you said.
Apparently doing like I think it says Artemis 2, which seems like wasn't Artemis 2 supposed to be the first landing? Or was it Artemis 3?
Who
Artemis
knows?
1.
At this point, the Artemis program is starting to get as screwed up as SLS. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
So was this how I thought originally was? I thought it was Artemis 1 was uncrewed. Artemis 2 was crewed but no landing. Artemis 3 was landing. Or is Artemis 2 landing and first crewed? Come on, Daryl. You live in you live in SLS country. Come on. You're supposed to know everything about.
Most of the city doesn't even know that.
Okay, well you're in New Orleans, but you're a space person in SLS country. You should know everything.
SLS.
I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah, you're right near Stennis and Michu and all that other stuff.
Thank you for almost pronouncing it correctly.
I can't pronounce those weird words. You weird people in the South.
Hey, spell Chapatoulas.
CHOP.
Nope.
TOLUS. That's how you spell it. How it sounds.
No, that's way off. I know that. Okay, so the location of everything right now, the very first Artemis SLS launch vehicle is still sitting on the test stand at Stennis in Mississippi. Um, the second one is almost complete and is sitting inside of the uh, vehicle assembly building, not vertical assembly building. We have our own VAB at the Mishu Assembly Facility in New
It's
Orleans.
vehicle, right? Not vertical. It's vehicle.
Vehicle, yes.
Yes, because and Kennedy is vertical.
Kennedy is vertical because they sit there and stack stuff up.
Yeah.
We have one because they build stuff vertically and then lay it down.
Here's my proposal for what we call technically it's a windbreak at Boca Chica. People call it the VAB down there. I don't remember what they call it, vertical vehicles. We should call it the VIF because they have the HIF here in Kennedy. Mm-hmm. This is a vertical integration facility.
Kennedy's about to get one too.
Oh yeah, their little remote tower thing, which I think is going to take about 5 years for them to build it though. It's nowhere close. Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Ew. So anyway,
they just proposed it. They didn't even. I don't even know if it even got approved yet.
So anyway, as far as SLS vehicles go, you got one on a test stand in Mississippi, just waiting to fire. Just any time they're just waiting to fire it. I don't know what takes so damn long. And then you have a second one, which I believe is almost complete, and I'm sure a third and possibly a fourth under construction. So yeah, that's where they're at right now.
I can't remember how many Orions are there built.
Probably a bunch of them. Orion's been ready to go for
Orion's been ready for years.
Yeah.
They've been ready so long that they use a Delta IV to launch their first mission.
They've been ready for so long that they're making up tests.
That is true. That is true. I think I saw a quote somewhere that they had to make up new tests to do in the meantime because you can't just like let those people go and then bring them back when they're ready. You have to keep them employed, and so they're just like, test this. Well, why? Because we need to do something.
Yes.
Hit it with a sledgehammer.
Look busy. The boss is coming. Oh, this SLS work looks good. Yeah. SLS Orion, is good, boss. Yeah, Orion.
Hitting Orion with a belt, like a hammer.
Bing,
just be
bing,
like,
bing.
it works. It works.
Bing, bing, bing. It works. Good test, boss.
It's not breaking. Yes. Kicking the screen with a foot does break the screen. Very good, QA.
Jeez.
We should fix that by telling the people not to kick it, and then let's spend the next couple weeks building a campaign to educate our astronauts and not kicking the screen. Apparently, is Starliner? I'm trying to think. Oh no, sorry. It's Starliner that has their panel is similar to their aircraft. I'm trying to think if Orion has something similar with Lockheed's planes, but I don't think it is because their Lockheed's planes cockpits are way too small. But I think like their Boeing like the 737s or the 747s, their cockpit all the screens and controls are very similar to Starliners.
Okay.
Which I don't know. Fun fact for you guys, if it's true. I don't remember. Okay. I remember seeing that somewhere. It's definitely similar to their other planes.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I wish I would have brought this up.
What?
Or I wish I would have looked it up. I think I remember seeing the Boeing proposal for the human lander.
Mm-hmm.
Was so it was like they got so the three companies that got selected for the human landing system. There were like four proposals.
Mm-hmm.
Who you can kind of imagine which one didn't get selected. Boeing. And they had all of them got management grade, like grades pretty much. I don't remember what their a formal name is, but like grades, and then also like operation like technical a technical grade on their lander. Most of them got the three that got selected were like either like excellent or very good. Boeing got like terrible. Like it was like the bottom grade for both technical and for management. And I wish I would have the quote because I remember I think it was I don't remember who read it off in the NSF stream. I think it was Thomas.
Mhm.
I can't remember. I don't remember how to pronounce his last name, but Burgent or whatever.
Burkhart?
Burghart. I don't remember. I don't remember last
Seth.
names. I'm terrible with pronunciation. I'm not gonna pronunciate.
Wow.
Ugh. Oh, this is a terrible life. This is so sad.
Wow.
I just look. I'm just gonna look at my palm tree and enjoy it. You take the show, Daryl. Daryl, continue with the show.
So, what else happened?
Starship. Who
Starship did its
stayed
thing.
up for all the tests?
I did for
Who
some of them.
is sleep deprived still, even though 2 days in a row we've had no tests, and I've been able to sleep. My sleep schedule was messed up last week, horribly messed up last week.
Mine always is.
That's valid. But we had two static fires, I believe. I did not see the second one, but we had one static fire.
Yes, we had a. So it was a progression of tests. I'm taking over the stream now. It was a progression of tests. It was tank pressure tests, and then a pre-burner test.
I saw that tweet.
And then the and then the quick static fires. Both of the static fires were really short, about 2 seconds. Over 2 seconds a piece.
Yeah. They were longer than Starhopper's static fires, so that's good.
Yeah. Now I did ask in the stream if they suspect in NSF stream. That's the one I was watching. I was flipping back and forth, but I happened to be on theirs at the time.
It's really great.
And I asked them.
Yeah.
I asked them. Are you guys expecting a long duration static fire, kind of like they do at Falcons? And they're like, no, probably not, because there's no flame diverter right now. There's no trench diverter.
Yeah, it would
like
just
that.
rip up that concrete and the Starship itself. You might as well just have it up in the air.
Yeah, so at this point, they might do 1 or 2 more quick short duration static fires, and then they're gonna hop.
I just realized something. What happens if I wonder where they're gonna where are they gonna land that thing? Because there's no way they're landing it where Starship is, or where Starhopper is. That's too congested.
Yeah, because there's a Starhopper there.
Well, there's also a whole bunch of tanks there as well. They built up their tank, like their methane and
tank farm.
Yeah, a whole tank farm set up around Starhopper, pretty much.
I don't know.
But what if Starship destroys Starhopper in an accident?
Oh no, that ain't gonna happen.
I would be so sad.
Oh, an accident. Oh.
Yeah, an accident.
Yeah.
Like it was coming in the land and it just came, like how those first Falcon 9 boosters came in the land? They came in like sideways.
I hope those cameras that they installed on it are watching, because that's they're watching.
Footage. They're always watching. They have a drone.
I want to know what the speakers are for.
Oh, probably the play soothing music to Starship. It gets nervous when it has to perform,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like the other ones did.
Yes, they all did. They all got
right.
Especially SM4, especially because he has so much to live up to, because he has to avenge 3 starships. SM5 is gonna be more stressful because they avenge 5.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry. The only launch vehicle that needs to be avenged is Booster 1046 from IFA, because that was murdered on purpose. The rest of them were accidents from testing.
No, all the ones were accidental deaths. They were murdered, but it was accidental murder. It was manslaughter. Is what it was. IFA was a homicide.
Yes.
they had motive.
And Booster 1046 is haunting. Well, we'll say they're haunting SpaceX right now, not the whole industry.
Well, yeah, the whole industry. But
yeah.
So they have great. So we have so NSF has started now streaming with Mary, Boca Chica gal, or Boca Chica Mary, Boca Chica gal, Mary from Boca Chica. Her streams are like top notch quality. Best. If anyone knows how to stream best, it's definitely NSF. They've been streaming for so long with DOS and all their gear they have. All their streams are amazing.
Dude, I was listening to him talk about the setup he has at home to control all that stuff. What is that dude's electric bill like?
I don't even want to know his internet bill, or his data. I don't want to know NSF's data bill because
if Daz doesn't have at least one fiber connection coming to his house, and see, I know about where he lives, and I know AT&T did a big build out of fiber in that general area. I don't know his exact address or anything like that, but I know AT&T did a big build out of fiber, and I swear if he didn't get fiber with
he
1
has the
gigabit
best
connection,
whatever he can get, he has the best, and he probably has multiple lines of it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Though, I remember in the gaming industry when all the competitive teams started going in the team houses back in like 2008, 2009, when the gaming house was the big deal. Mm-hmm. A lot of them got evicted because they realized they were running a company out of a house, and the way they realized that was because they were getting so many internet lines into their house.
Oh.
So like Optic Gaming had an internet line for every single one of their players, and they had about 6 or 7 people in that house.
Damn.
And so one of the neighbors, and also the neighbors found, like, kind of like realized, like, why are there so many people there, and like all this other random stuff. Why are people like walking up to the door in the middle of the night, like strangers walking around? Because they had fans found out their address, and so they were coming up to their door, and they got raided by the police one night, and then they realized that, oh yeah, this is definitely a business, and they got evicted. And then they didn't learn, and they moved to a different house, and that didn't go so well. So now they have an office.
So yeah, that's what's up with Starship.
Yeah,
and we got more tests coming.
If you ever watch S Padre stream, he does the stream. He helps Tim Dow with his stream, which is another great stream. Mm-hmm. Because it's on the opposite side of where NSF is.
Yeah, really, so you can have both of them playing.
What I literally had was I have 3 monitors. On my left monitor was NSF, right monitor was Tim's, and then in the middle was Discord. I was set. Or 2K. Sometimes I play 2K20, but if you want to, but like, there's a great picture that S Padre posted when they were moving the there's a new Raptor in as well today.
Yep.
Supposedly SN20, which I learned though, just because it says 20 on the bell does not mean it's SN20.
We're gonna go with that.
The Raptor parts are interchangeable. Oh yeah. So they can interchange bells. So I think the actual serial number of the engine is based off like the oxygen pump, I think, or the oxygen head or whatever. Some technical, it's rocket science. I don't know what it's called. Some oxygen part, and that's what actually the steering number, the whole engine is based off of. But like, you can have all the other S&M parts all over the place. But I think all up until now, every single one has matched the bell. This is how close they get. Like, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the side of the road. One, that setup is dope. Just saying. You see his setup?
Yeah.
So freaking awesome.
I've kind of debated making a drive down there myself because it's about the same drive time as it is to KSC. I just don't wanna.
How like if you just leave, how much time can you stay and leave at one place? Like a week or 2?
What, me?
Yeah.
Like
if you would like for the 150 meter hop.
Oh, how long can I afford to be out of town for?
Well, not for it, but justify staying.
Probably a week.
Dude.
At most.
You should do it.
I probably will.
Get in touch with like S Padre or something like that, or someone down there, and just
okay.
Yeah, because that'd be fun. I wish I can do that. I gotta live vicariously for some of the stuff through you because I can't. I don't have a week to just go somewhere. I at most have a day.
Well, I have things in life that I'm maybe making happen, and that might not be a thing if things go through. I don't know. We'll see. It may be joining the Air Force. It may be getting a particular job with someplace that I don't want to talk about yet and jinx
A particular Air Force, a particular aerospace company.
I'm not saying anymore.
What? No. Okay.
No, don't want to jinx it.
What else happened this week? I'm looking through my what to bring up next because we don't have. This is how we transition between topics because we can't do transitions.
We're just gonna talk. Week this was,
and I'm just gonna click through the tabs and Tom Cruise.
Oh God, that.
If anyone's going to go to space for a movie, at least it's going to be Tom. I don't like him as an actor. I'm not a huge fan of his movies, but at least he's going to do
actually
it right.
going? Has that been confirmed? Is he actually going? Because nothing said that he's actually going. It said that he's just working on it. You don't just go to space to make a movie. I mean, and it wouldn't just be him. It would be at least one other person, like a producer and somebody to film it. Because you can't bring a whole crew up there, but you can't just send one guy up there. He's posting
a whole bunch of Top Gun stuff.
And I've also heard that it apparently will not be a Mission Impossible movie.
I was so hoping for that. I'm like, that's a Mission Impossible. Like,
I kind of was too. Like, that would be
that's
killer
really
for Mission Impossible.
That's the only movie that he does. Right? Like, that's his thing. Is Mission Impossible.
I love those. I love
except for anything about it.
Except for the second one. I didn't like the director he picked for the second one. It was really bad. It was just too cheeseballed action, The action was just too cheeseballed in the second one. But
if
all
Tom
the rest
Cruise
of them,
doesn't go up there, I think it would be a flop. I don't care. Like, there's no other actor. Maybe.
Don't send Tom Hanks or Matt Damon.
No, you can't do Tom Hanks and Matt Damon. The only person I can think of who can get away with it. Well, okay, no, Tom Hanks and Matt Damon could get away with it, but it would be a tragic. It would be like another like Gravity, pretty much, theme movie where things go wrong. But the only one I could think of is they did another Iron Man movie, and it was
Robert Downey.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Like what's. That's because like if he owned his he had his own private space station it was based off of, and it was him doing research.
He almost had something kind of close to it. Like remember when
that's the only one I could think.
Veronica that he sent down to
Veronica
to be the Hulk. Yeah,
I love Veronica. Veronica's great.
Yeah, and Friday. I like Friday. Yeah, girl, you got it going on. Hey, Friday.
I'm trying to think of what Friday was.
Friday was the replacement for Jarvis.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, Jarvis is too cool.
Oh yeah.
I watched. Did you watch Penny Carter or Carter?
Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. There we go.
No, actually.
So you have
some of them.
You have the original Jarvis in that.
Oh yeah.
He's so funny.
Oh yeah.
So great. I love him. Such a great.
I do want to say that I hate the fact that that actor Paul Bettany, in addition to Scarlett Johansson, really got screwed in Endgame by not coming back. Like that annoyed me.
Okay, so Vision wasn't a human being.
True.
I'm assuming I'm assuming even if he didn't have the stone, he wouldn't be included in the 50% because I don't think he had a soul.
Not so much from a character standpoint, but from an actor standpoint.
Oh.
Because Paul Bettany has been there from the beginning, the first Iron Man. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, because he was the voice. That's right.
Yes. And then he actually got to be on screen.
So what happened to Scarlett? Scarlett didn't come back because she Okay, that makes sense. But she didn't die in the original snap.
She is getting her own prequel movie, which is too little, too late. I'm sorry. That should have happened a long time ago for her. That's
a prequel movie?
Too little, too late. Yeah.
Okay. Oh well. Okay. Prequel with where's a prequel?
Or
pre snap or post snap? That's what it's gotta be. It's gotta be pre or post snap.
Actually, I don't know where it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I'm
it's gonna
assuming
be an
it's
origin story or not.
I don't think there's prequels and sequels in Marvel. It's pre or post Snap.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. Or pre, or it's either pre Snap, post Snap, post pre unsnap, post unsnap, or pre Avengers.
Dude, you're going way too far with it.
That's really like the only best way you can describe like a general area, because it's not like Star Wars where you can say it's a sequel to the original series or is a prequel to the original series, or is part of the anthology. Like that's the three sections, like simple sections for Star Wars: prequel, sequel, anthology. With Marvel, it's like there's so many movies.
You're making my head hurt.
No, I'm enlightening you. That's what I'm doing.
You are making my head hurt.
But I still hope this is going to be a Mission Impossible movie, hands down.
Yeah.
That's the only movie series I can think of that makes sense. That or another Iron Man. Though we're not getting another Iron Man. But if it's not Mission Impossible, Iron Man. I just hope it's not like a one-off movie and it's gonna be stupid.
Yeah.
It needs to be a March. I think it needs to be Mission Impossible just so it does well in the box office.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's one of those things. I can see the ISS being like an opening scene or something like that, or an ending scene maybe.
It should not be up there long. But the clip for on the ISS should be a very short clip.
Like I said, it should be like a long opening scene, which I hate to say it will probably end with the destruction of the station. But
if it's Mission Impossible, yes.
Yeah, if it's Mission Impossible, I can't see it being the full movie.
No, it has to be a scene. No more than just a scene.
They're only giving them a certain amount of time to be up there, like a couple of weeks.
Really? I would think it would be at least like a month.
No, probably a month at most.
Yeah.
So
But here's one question. I mean,
you could film a lot in a month.
Who was it? Jack Bear, I think, on NSF. He's in the movie area.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are going up there to film it?
2.
What did it say that?
I may have been listening to him talk about it, or I may have read it somewhere. You've obviously got the actor going up, and then you've got producer / director / cinematographer guy.
Well, in a major film, mm-hmm. That's not the same person. You have a camera operator.
I know
that's AC. Why... You have a DC. You have, or not DC, but yeah, you have all these other people.
Trust me, I know all about it.
I could see the director being remote. An astronaut is not going to be filming it for sure. That's not going to happen.
It's probably all right. So you're gonna have to send them up probably on like a Dragon or something like that because it takes.
There's no way they're gonna be up. There's no if a celebrity's going up there, it's kind of like, do you want to have coach or first class?
I mean,
do you want Soyuz or Dragon or 730 Max Starliner?
I mean, Dragon is first class compared to Starliner.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah. So you want to have. Okay,
dude, going up on Starliner is like riding in the luggage compartment.
That would be Starliner.
Yeah,
no. Starliner would be flying on a 737 Max. Technically, it could fly. It might be nice, but do you want to risk it?
Riding Starliner would be like riding on that plane that the owner got the team in the first Major League movie that was an absolute piece of junk.
Yes. Yes. That's a great movie. I love that movie. I love
that. The third one was trash.
I don't even talk about the third one. I don't even mention Major League 1 and 2, the only 2 ones that are good.
Yeah, Captain Archer was not a good baseball coach.
Especially Major League 2, where they all what's the I can't remember the name of the guy he was a really fast guy.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Willie Mays Hayes, there we go. And he wants to be a home run hitter.
Yep.
He shows up the first day of practices in a limo with all these chicks, and then he's just trying to kill every pitch he comes to him, and he just keeps on striking out. Or
Oh, they're always pop flies, right?
they're always pop fly. Oh yeah, they're just terrible. He just keeps on getting out every single time. He's just trying to kill every single one.
Yep.
Fun fact: hitting a home run is not about how hard you hit it. It's about a lot more.
Yes.
I don't even want to get into that. It's about the placement of where you hit it. It's about how fast the pitch is. It's about how fast you swing the bat, but not too fast.
Can y'all see how boring the show's got because of quarantine? This stuff.
We need more news.
We do. We got some coming.
And I forgot to find a guest this week. That's my bad.
You're bad. That's okay.
Bad.
Sometimes it's fun with just us.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I just need to have Jack, so I'm funner.
Funner.
Yeah.
So, shit.
Virgin Galactic.
Yeah.
That's the
Richard
last thing,
Branson
pretty much.
Well,
there's a few other things, but this is the last thing we can talk about.
Yeah.
Virgin Galactic. I won't even bring up the tweet because it's just a video. They did their first free fly of Unity. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about that thing. Okay.
Technically two things for Virgin Galactic.
Yes.
So first of all, this week they did the first solo flight in New Mexico, which is what's the name of their place in New Mexico?
No, I don't know.
Spaceport New Mexico is it called?
I'll be quite
Spaceport
honest.
America.
I don't pay much attention to them.
Spaceport America. There we go. So they took Starship 2. Shut off Starship 2. White Knight took Starship 2 Unity up and dropped it, and it landed for the first time in New Mexico, which is good. And I believe, part of the training for the customers is to do a drop test.
Oh, okay.
I believe that there's a few things. I believe that's one of them.
Oh,
so Justin Bieber could have been on this flight.
Ew.
I think they would have talked about that. I think it was just a test flight, but this was his first flight. But we should probably see more of those. But a second thing that Virgin Galactic talked about this week was point-to-point transportation, which is not a new concept.
No.
Most famously, SpaceX wants to do it with Starship. This one, though, is a little bit more feasible, I feel like.
Yes.
Because it's a modified Starship 2. Like, they're modified... So it'll probably be Starship 3.
Mm-hmm.
If we continue on with the naming scheme, that makes sense. Probably Starship 3. And they'll do the whole same, takeoff with probably not White Knight, which is what their main character plane is. Probably a different carrier plane that's larger. Maybe, what do they call now? Rook? From Stratolaunch?
Forget.
Maybe they might use Stratolaunch for this, because that would make sense. It's much, much larger. Their new plane will probably be larger, since it will be a commercial flight. Like, it'll have to battle with commercial airlines, so it probably want to be at least decently sized compared to the commercial airlines. We need a big flashing, like how NSF doesn't put it on every time, but they have the
speculation
warning speculation, like when it's late at night and they're just like speculating about everything. I mean, we definitely need one of those. Like wild speculation. That's the entire stream. Never mind. We don't need it. We just should put it in the title. Wild speculation.
That's our stream. We're just like, we're winging it here.
So they'll do the whole vertical takeoff with it captive, drop it, light up their hybrid engine, or supposedly I believe it's still going to be a hybrid engine, and travel to London or something, because they're building another facility in UK, which I believe in Scotland. I believe is the location. Scotland, I think so. I don't know. It seems interesting. I'm kind of excited about it, but we
got a launch happening in 10 minutes.
What?
Kaizu 1A from China.
Oh, of course, China.
Yeah. So no stream available.
They did stream their last launch though.
Yeah, you want to talk about that real fast?
So China launched. I actually have pictures of it bookmarked. China launched. I don't remember if this is Is there Long March 5B?
Long March 5B.
Yeah, something like
Launched
that.
their experimental crew capsule on a test flight, which, by all accounts, basically from Chinese media, so take this with like the world's biggest grain of salt, was successful. But China, being as irresponsible as they are, decided to not give a shit where the stages re-entered at. And earlier today, after it passed over the U.S., including New York, it ended up re-entering in the Atlantic Ocean.
How is it landing in the ocean?
Over the Atlantic.
Okay. I mean,
yeah, that was just earlier today. But
okay, Atlantic.
Nobody knew. Nobody
Atlantic
knew where it was
is a
coming
weird
in.
spot. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, was that the thing I saw? Okay, I did see a message on that where they said it's gonna be deorbiting in a couple of days, but no one knows where. Which seems like it's kind of the thing from China nowadays. It deorbits, but they don't know where it deorbits.
Just like when their stages fall down.
I feel like
people.
China is the United States pre Skylab.
No.
Because pre Skylab, the United States did not care where things deorbited. They didn't track it. They didn't. Skylab deorbited over Australia.
Because we already figured.
No, we didn't know. There was no warning that we gave Australia.
Skylab is the exception, because Skylab we lost control of.
For pre Skylab, there was not a lot of caring on where things deorbited. Mostly
we already knew where it was going.
Well, mostly because things weren't big enough.
Water.
Things weren't big enough to ever make it through atmosphere. Skylab was the first thing we're like, oh, maybe we should care about this. Because pieces of it landed out in the outback, so might have killed a few kangaroos as well.
Again, we lost control of that one, so.
Yeah, that's valid. So I still want to dress up. I still want to dress up
interesting as hell.
I want to dress up as Skylab with a kangaroo.
Dude, I tell you what,
or a
Skylab is
kangaroo
interesting
with
as hell.
Skylab in a pouch. Yes.
Yuri's Night. There you go.
No, I'm the Space Priest.
Yeah. You know, if you want to learn more about Skylab and whatnot, I highly recommend listening to the podcast, The Space Above Us, the Skylab episodes, or really just that entire podcast.
That some guy picked. These are really nice pictures that some guy took, I'll be honest. This was a weird...
Oh, yeah.
This was a weird launch because it was live streamed, which we never get.
Probably because there's going to be a crew element involved.
I don't think they launched their other. I don't think they live streamed their other crewed launches because they've had crewed launches before.
I don't know.
Shenzhen is their. That's Tiangong. Tiangong is I think Shenzhen is their capsules, except for this one. But Tiangong or Tiangong, I don't remember. Whatever. I don't speak Chinese. Whatever. Just forget about me. But this was all. It's just weird that they would live stream this.
Hey, they did it.
And they had this guy got these good pictures. Like, we don't see pictures this good from China launches.
No.
It's really good pictures as well, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's really good pictures. But their really rocket design is, like, so... It looks like a third grader drawing with the way they design their launch vehicles.
They're very...
They're very basic.
Yeah, coming like China and India... So China, their rocket program was very much off the USSR's China program, and I believe like Pakistan's very heavily off of Russia as well. North Korea is very heavily off of China, and then India's kind of in there with the same thing where they kind of, not really.
It looks very basic.
They all look very.
Hey, it works, so good on y'all.
It's just a different way of thinking. Like it's more basic. Then it's still advanced and it's not sexy looking. There we go. It's not. Yeah. They're still amazing vehicles.
Oh yeah.
But
aside from the fact that China likes to drop them on people and not give a shit.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a problem. But I think this one launched off the coast as well. So this one is.
It launched off an island.
Island have coast.
I'm saying it wasn't part of the mainland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of the mainland.
So yeah.
That was all we got.
China dropped shit on people's head again. Or it tried to.
I don't know if it tried to, but it did. I don't even know if it did or not.
Tried to. How much you want to bet there's like a U.S. submarine or something trying to go fish out that debris just to study their rocket capabilities?
I don't know if there's any debris.
Who knows?
They have that Point Nemo, which is out in the Pacific,
Mm-hmm.
which is where 90, I'm throwing out random, majority of people
There you
aim
go.
their space debris, other than China. Um,
Hmm.
and
Oh, yeah, like,
usually there's no pieces. So Mir, I think some pieces of Mir did end up landing, but that's
Yeah.
because it was Mir, it was massive.
Yeah.
And same thing with Skylab, because also Skylab was massive. But most pieces don't make it. Most rocket pieces
Yeah.
don't make it. Though there was a satellite that did make it in the middle of Wisconsin. I think it was.
There's
It was some Russian satellite landed.
oh
hit
with
in
the with the with an RTG on it.
I don't know if it had RTG.
I can't remember if that was like in Wisconsin or I think it was in
Hold
Canada.
up.
There was a.
I think it's called
Here we go.
Sputnik Night.
I don't know. Here we go.
No, this is from NASA.
Welcome to Rapid Unscheduled Discussions. This is the premise of the show.
I'm trying to think. Or Sputnik Fair. No. There's some. Sputnik Fest. Duh. Oh, it is Manitowoc, Wisconsin. That's right. That's where it's from. My favorite little city in Wisconsin, Manitowoc.
Oh, you put the O sound in it? Okay.
Manitowoc. Yes, we
I
do.
usually skip over the O sound.
Well, we're not, because it's not French, idiot. It's Native American.
You act like we don't have Native American names down here.
Yeah, well, you're mostly French, though.
Where the hell do you think Chapatulas came from? Not the goddamn French.
Yeah, just pronounce it like a French person. I don't know. You're
Let's see how
a freaking
you on the
silent
show.
T. I feel like if there was a silent T in there, the Native Americans would have pronounced the T because they're not. They were smart and they didn't put silent letters in their name. What? I see you staring at me.
All right, pronunciation. Y'all go retweet that tweet.
There is about Sputnik. What is this? Sputnik 4. Okay, so Sputnik 4. There's a picture of it. Oh my gosh, there is. It's like a little crack in the road. All right. But yeah, so like I guess back in 1960, a piece of Sputnik 4 landed in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And there's no picture of it? Is there a picture of it? No. Okay. They have this is such a Wisconsin thing. Every year they have a festival celebrating it, and it has a lot of beer.
Mm.
And you drink a lot. So I want to go to that one day. One day I want to go to Sputnik Fest. You should come with me and enjoy Wisconsin with me.
Is it hot up there?
It can be during the summer.
Ew. I hate the heat.
Oh, I thought you wanted heat. Do you want cold? We have cold. We have cold as well.
Yes. Can
Okay.
y'all like export some cold down here to the south? 'Cause
We
I
just
hate
had
the heat.
flurries.
Dude, I know. That's so wonderful. I wish that would have made it down here.
When does this happen? It happens in September, so yes, it'll be a little chilly.
Oh
Yes. It won't
yes. I
be.
love the cold weather. I hate the heat. I'm born and raised.
We should probably get going.
Yeah.
It's been enough of us bantering. Thank
Yes.
everyone for coming out to the live stream. Everyone watching this on YouTube, I don't know how the hell you got through this point without pulling your hair out. Everyone listening to this on the podcast places, thank you very much. Make sure you leave a review. That helps us out very much. Or just hit a little like, depending on what podcast service you use. YouTube, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, put that little notification bell on, because apparently DOS doesn't know that the bell was a thing until the other night.
What?
Yeah, he had to do a whole thing like, why are we not
He's-
live? And I'm like,
a
he's
Twitch guy.
he's
That's
a
right.
Twitch guy. He's not a YouTube guy.
Right.
It was kind of funny. But thank you all for coming out. Hopefully next week we'll have a guest, or there will be more news or something, so we don't banter
More shit to talk
like
about.
this,
Yeah.
or we just get better. On that note,
Yeah.
I'll see you guys all. We'll see you guys all next week.
Peace and chicken grease.